Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to On the Break. We have a good one coming to you. Trevon, the Lakers, they laid an egg tonight, man. The Memphis Grizzlies came out playing really tough, looking to tie this series up, going back to LA. So, what are your takeaways from tonight's game?
Yeah, tonight's game is not really much of nothing about the box score or anything like that, unless you want to point out Anthony Davis, his offensive performance, only coming away with 13 points. It's really a trend whenever he scores in that range when he doesn't get above 20, even sometimes when he gets 20, um, he doesn't really have that same effect on the game. A large part of that is due to how teams double team him. He's not the best as far as being aggressive early on out of the double team, similar to how like a Joel Embiid does. He doesn't wait for that double team to come. He goes ahead and makes his move aggressively, and he's not that great a passer as far as making it a helping his teammates be available to make a play. He kind of just makes the simple pass that's not really doing much for the team, but it was really just a matter of fact of effort for the team tonight. The Lakers, this isn't really anything new. They've done this all year. And they have a trend of when things start to really look promising, they just take their foot off the gas way too much. And they play down to their opponent a lot. Um, Obviously, because Ja Morant wasn't playing, the team just didn't have what it really took to win a playoff game on the road. And the Memphis Grizzlies aren't bad when Ja's not playing, so you knew they were going to come out. They're going to play hard. Even the game when they lost, they didn't sound like they had any concern going into game two. I mean, they're prepared for this. They know how to play without them. And the Lakers just didn't bring the effort tonight. Xavier Tillman, a name a lot of people may not know, he was out hustling the Lakers basically. A lot of rebounds offensively. He was hitting shots when he was open, just playing with a lot of energy, playing aggressive, and the Lakers just didn't match that. There was plenty of times they could have grabbed a rebound and just didn't go get it. But the Lakers, I also feel like winning game one, they had they coming into this game, they were feeling too comfortable, so they didn't really bring it tonight. And they still were in the game where they had chances to take the lead. But I just feel like winning this game, going up 2-0, going back home, you now put yourself in a position where you got to go back to Memphis. Ja was considering playing tonight, so he may come back some point in the series. He may not be the same player, and I know a lot of people may, say that the Grizzlies are better without him, but Ja Morant is an important piece. They need him in order to go anywhere, as far as being contenders. So, I feel like you also would get a lot of rest if you were to somehow sweep this team or something like that. I just feel like it's no point in playing if you're not going to play for real. So the Lakers, they just didn't bring it tonight. Simple as that. If you look at how they played in game one and you looked at how they played tonight, it's two completely different teams. So they just didn't bring it tonight, and they ultimately deserve to lose this game. So
Yeah, it's not a whole bunch of strategic things to go over in terms of this game, in terms of like matchups or strategies on the court, because I think what it really came down to was Memphis just took it to the Lakers, and the Lakers just really didn't respond in a way that would
full
help
respect.
them. I don't know. I don't know if they didn't respect them. Um, I just feel that they just didn't bring it tonight like they did in game one. Um, and I feel like the physicality on the Memphis side was high, whereas the Lakers kind of just took it. They didn't really dish it back as much. I think that Jaren Jackson was very physical with Anthony Davis, especially up in the paint. I think Dylan Brooks was very physical with LeBron, but LeBron respond. I mean, LeBron's gonna respond. He's gonna. That's how he plays anyway. But um, I just feel like the mentality of the Memphis Grizzlies they were on that type of time where they were going to take it to the Lakers and let the chips fall where they may. So that's what I take from it a lot. And the role players didn't score as well for the Lakers as they did in game one.
Rui played
Anthony
well
Davis,
again.
yeah, Rui played well. He had about 20 points or so. Um, but everybody else didn't score as well as they did in game one. Anthony Davis, like you said, only had 14. And vice versa on the Memphis Grizzlies side, everybody in the starting five was in double figures, along with Luke Kennard, which is a name I mentioned last video, saying I think he can step up and help this team win some games if he plays well. And he stepped up and had double digit points tonight. So that's really what it comes down to me. The Memphis Grizzlies just took it to the Lakers, and I mean, it's only one game. The Lakers, they got game one. I'm not gonna say that you would expect this to happen in game two. I'm not gonna say that you would expect the Lakers to let up off the gas, because I think that's a dangerous thing to do, especially with teams like the Memphis Grizzlies, who are going to fight to not physically fight, but they're going to give it their all throughout the whole entire series. That you want to keep your foot on the gas when you play teams like that. But it's kind of like one of those scheduled losses, or it happens in the NBA in series when the road team sometimes they get that first win, that second game, they don't come out as hard. But I would have liked to see the Lakers kind of keep their foot on the gas while Ja was not playing, and try and get that second game, but it didn't happen. So they're going back to LA. We're going to see how both teams respond. We're going to see if Ja plays and kind of go from there. But yeah, it just comes down to the Memphis Grizzlies just took it at the Lakers, and the Lakers really didn't respond all that well to it.
Yeah, definitely. I expect the Lakers to pick up both of these next home games and come back to Memphis up 3-1, especially if Ja doesn't play. I just the goal is always to get one on the road, but honestly, if you have a chance to go up 2-0, I just would think that there'd be more of an urgency, especially when you really couldn't lay out a better like opportunity for them. And even tonight, this like I said, this game was definitely winnable. But it I still expect the Lakers to go back home and win these games. Um, it's kind of like I said, you would really, really expect them to, go out there and try to win as many games as quick as possible, because rest is probably one of the most valuable things for this team, in my opinion, and a lot of people's eyes. Because of the injury concerns with AD, LeBron's age, and the longer the series goes, the probably the worst that you feel as far as a Lakers fan. But also to touch up on the thing where you say you wouldn't expect this, it's funny because a lot of Laker fans are not surprised. I wouldn't say expect is the word, but we're not surprised at all because this has been a trend all year. They've been very inconsistent. Um, so what they can do. It's just a matter of not if they're gonna bring it or not. They were within 10 to 8 points all game, but I could just tell and see. I was like, I don't really think that they're gonna do what it takes to, go ahead and take this win on the road and go back home 2-0. I feel like they typically wait to the last minute to really start playing for real. That's one of the things that they do consistently. And when they did have a good shape and they were picking up some momentum, then fouls started getting called for the Grizzlies. Desmond Bain was going to the line, I think 2 possessions down in a row, late in the game. And now you put the game in the ref's hands, and it's really all she wrote at that point. So this is definitely self-inflicted from the Lakers. I heard Darvin Ham in a little mic'd up on the timeout said it's the first of 4, not the first of 1, trying to motivate his squad. But they just didn't play that brand of basketball. I mentioned Rui had 20 points, or we mentioned Rui had 20 points, and you didn't really get any production from either your point guards, D'Lo or Dennis. Yeah, the bench really didn't do too much. And there wasn't really, I mean, that last game that they won, game one, the role players played great, but nobody's really expecting that every single game. And you know what LeBron and AD has to do. So that's why we're, looking at those two. LeBron had 28 and 12. I still wouldn't say it's his best game
Yeah.
because a lot of those offensive rebounds they allowed to the Grizzlies, a lot of times LeBron just stands there and barely boxes out, doesn't really go for it unless he's really in that mode, leaves shooters wide open. It's probably some of the worst defense I've ever seen him play in his entire career. I think it does start with him. I know age, I get it, but if the team sees the leader doing something or not doing something, then it's going to trickle down, and you're going to be in situations you shouldn't be in.
Yeah, here's what it is, man. The Lakers just didn't bring the energy. They weren't the aggressors. The Grizzlies were the aggressors, and that happens in series sometimes. We would have liked to see the Lakers come out and put up more of a fight and really try and get that second game while Ja was injured and the Grizzlies were, um, not at full strength, but that didn't happen. I think now moving forward, this is what it's about. How are the Lakers going to respond to not playing as well as they could have? You're going back home. Usually, role players play well at home, even though they played well on the road, which doesn't always happen like that, where multiple role players are putting the ball in the hole like that. But I'm expecting them to show back up in LA. Uh, I I feel like the Lakers should come out and win this series, especially if Ja is out for an extended period of time. It's one game, but I feel like it's tough to have drop offs like that. It was a pretty big drop off, but it's a 7 game series. First, like you said, first to four, and now it's tied 1-1 going back to LA. So now it's just seeing how the Lakers are going to respond and seeing how the Grizzlies are going to handle going on the road. And trying to win some games there. So
Yeah. The last piece I'll say, one more thing important about the rest. Right now, the games in this series are separated by 2 days. So you play a game, you get 2 days off. Play another game, you get 2 days off, which was tonight. They get one more 2 day break, and then they play again Saturday. And then after that, you only get one day off. So that doesn't really fall particularly in the favor of the Lakers. So you would probably expect a little bit more attention to detail and effort. I'm pretty sure they're aware of the scheduling. A lot of other series they're playing they only get one night off, like the Warriors and Kings. They play a game, get one day off. The Lakers have been having 2 days off, so I don't know. And you give the Grizzlies confidence, and I'm pretty sure they're not going to be scared to play in LA. I know the atmosphere is crazy, but you have opened that opportunity. But to be clear, I expect them to win this next 2 games to go back to Memphis 3-1